on the cloud. Welcome to the Future of Learning Outcomes in Learning Suite and outside of Learning Suite too, because actually what we're going to show you is a tool that is both built in Learning Suite, or you do things in Learning Suite. Currently, there's an external tool, but eventually it will be iframed into Learning Suite so you can use it right within the context of Learning Suite. But right now it's kind of two systems, but they connect and get data from each other. So that's nice. So let me share my screen here. Okay. Okay, first of all, you should be seeing my my screen. This is learning outcomes for my course that I teach. This is last winter's course, and you can see I've got a course purpose and other learning outcomes, and I connect. You can see that there's evidences connected to each of these. So you may be asking yourself, how do I make those connections? One thing you can do is on the learning outcomes page, you can come here and say view unassociated assignments. And that will show you every assignment that is currently not connected with a learning outcome. Now, does that mean you need to connect every assignment to a learning outcome? I would say probably not. What typically you want to do is connect the kind of the key indicators of whether or not students have achieved that outcome. That may be a combination of exams and assignments and projects and things like that. But if you want to tie every assignment to an outcome, that's perfectly acceptable as well. Anyway, so let's show you how to do that. Okay, so let's just take this this syllabus quiz, and we might say, well, I'm going to add this to developing habits of great learners, because every good learner reads the syllabus, right? And so if my students can do that, then we're good. So that would come up here, and I refresh, hopefully, come to my developing habits. There's the syllabus quiz. So that's kind of nice, and it was simple and easy. But what if I have a more extensive quiz or something like that? Well, I can also, let's see if I can, on a quiz, I can look at each individual question and say, okay, growth mindset, that's going to be perspectives. And do you remember what we discussed about? That's going to be on reading, I guess. This one is perspectives. That's reading strategies. And this one is probably connected to the course purpose, and we can save that. And now we've connected each individual question. Now, when you're actually creating the exam, you can, we'll show you that in a second. Well, actually, let's go there right now. So if I come over to my exams and I've got, let's see, one that I haven't done. I can come in here to edit questions. I can do it from where I showed you. We could edit this one and say this is connected with note-taking. And so now that question is linked to that learning outcome, and so on and so forth. In Cornell, do that. And that's also, that's Cornell's note-taking. Save that, and so on and so forth. And so that's how I can connect individual questions. So you saw I did the whole quiz, which would then filter down to all the questions, or I can do individual questions within a quiz. I can also do other assignments. And so I could either come here to assignments if I know, oh, well, I want to, this video feedback assignment doesn't have a rubric, and it's related to test prep and test taking. Save that. So that's at an assignment. Now, if I have an assignment that has, here's a group scoring that has a rubric, it doesn't have to be that, the type of assignment doesn't matter. But the fact that it has a rubric, I now have specific criteria for the rubric. And I can do that to developing habits. I can do this one to time management, and this one to, I don't know, reading. That may or may not be correct. It doesn't matter because, but anyway, so now if I come back to learning outcomes, I should see additional evidences here. I haven't done anything with memory, so I may want to come and associate an assignment there. But basically, you can either come here, view the unassociated assignments and associate them, and then you can do it either at the whole assignment level, or for quizzes, get down to the question level. For assignments with a rubric, you can connect each individual criterion to its own learning outcome. Okay, so once I've done that, then after students come in and start taking those assessments and getting scores and all that kind of stuff, then I can see results. And I can see it here in Learning Suite, but we're creating a new and improved system, which I'll show you in just a second. So here I can see I've got 3 evidences, and I can show the achievement, and I can see that 84%, 88%, and 96% exceeded expectations on those. So that overall, based on the weighting of those assignments towards the grade, 89% of my students exceeded expectations, 2% met expectations, and 8% were below, and so on and so forth. So here with my time management evidences, one hasn't been filled out, so it's basically just following this one assignment because that's the only assignment that contributes to it right now that I've got results for. But you can see 34% exceed, 61 meets, and 3% were below. And if I figure out how many students I had, around 25 students or so, then the 3% is probably just one student. I'm not great at doing math in my head like that. So here's an 82-16. So I have a few students who maybe didn't do that assignment or didn't do particularly well on it or on these assignments. And so so on and so forth. So here's another one. And we like that, 100% so far. Good. 80%, and you can see on the individual. So we're improving that. If we come over here, make sure we're logged in. Here's an example. This is all fake data, but you can see here we've got 60% of students exceeded expectations, 32% met, and 2% were below, and we can see how each of those individual assignments. So if they would have done better on the final exam, probably would have been even higher than 66% on the exceeds, huh? So again, we see meets, exceeds, and we can get down, you can see here that we have daily quizzes, and we get to specific questions, so we can see what the whole text of the question was. And you'll see that these, unless there's partial credit on those questions, it's either going to be exceed or meet, because they either got full credit for the question or whatever. Here, this daily quiz 8, that's their score over a whole quiz, right? Any questions at this point?
Nope.
Okay. All right. So there's other, okay, so this, you know, obviously can go on into other outcomes and see all the evidences and see student achievement, but that then helps you with basically other parts of your teaching stewardship, right? Because what you can do then, using this course detail, you can come here to semester review, and is this the one? Yeah. So you can use this and go see the course detail. And then this is where for a particular semester, you can write in, well, here's what I think is going well. Here's, you know, here's some strengths of the course and what I've done to help students with their learning and areas for improvement. It looks like I still have 9% of my students, or, you know, in a class of 200 students, I'd be like 18 students or whatever that are still struggling. So I'm going to take these steps to help those and see if I can't bring some of the 33% up to the exceeds level.
And by the way, that chart
so
is all of the learning outcomes combined and weighted into one overall.
Oh.
And then if you want to click the course detail, that's to the page that breaks them down by
that we were just looking at.
Breaks them down, but yeah, by the things that we just saw.
Yeah. So then, in addition to that, we address the results of assessments and stuff like that to discuss the first pillar of the peer review and teaching review, teaching portfolio, which is student learning and how we're addressing that and what we're doing to improve. And then we can go to the learning environment, and we can also see, you know, student ratings and stuff like that, and discuss that, as well as have access to the comments and all that kind of stuff right here within the system, and be able to address those and talk about, you know, well, looks like students feel like this is a strength, and you know, I still need to work on, you know, providing students more opportunities to actively engage in the class or whatever.
And by the way, both of those pillars that he just showed, plus the one he's going to show, you can also upload files. So like on the where we were showing under the student learning, where it imports from Learning Suite, if you use Canvas for your course, or if you choose not to link the learning outcomes, you can just click on upload additional evidence. You can do it regardless, but you could use that as a way to import your graphs from the other LMSs until we get something automated.
Yeah, but this will automate based on scoring that you've done in Learning Suite, where you've linked the assignment with the learning outcomes. Right.
Since 90% of our classes use Learning Suite, we started with Learning Suite first, and then we'll figure out Canvas later.
Yeah, that and the fact that we actually have access to do it.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. We'll figure out how to do Canvas. Their learning outcomes are different.
Yeah.
And more complicated.
Yeah, it's perfect. So now that we've talked about, the learning environment based on, like I said, the, student ratings and the comments and all that kind of stuff. Then we have the opportunity to then talk about the process of improvement, so we can reflect on what we're doing and we can add action items. So I could add an item, student engagement. I'm going to add classroom activities to engage students and get them thinking about the concepts and interacting with each other. Boom. And I would choose, this is in progress, and it's general, and save. And now I've got these two action items that I'm going to work on in order to improve. And then over time, I'll be able to come here and my activity journal, see the actions that action items that I have, add a note, talked with CTL assessment guru and got feedback. I now know which questions I need to revise. And let's see, where's the save? I now know. I got 2 Ks in there. How'd I do that? I guess.
You just click off of it and saves.
Okay. Yeah. So then I can keep track of the things I'm doing to work on my overall goal. And then when I'm done, I can edit. Whoops. Oh, sorry. Where's the edit for this, or to change the status? Anyway.
Oh, on what? Oh, just
yeah, to change the status of the.
Change the status. You need to
Do
change it
that.
on the semester review page.
Okay.
Under processes of improvement.
Okay. So anyway.
But also it has to be during the semester. So, but yeah,
Okay.
that's where you would change it there to be complete.
But that'll carry over to the next semester if it's still in process.
Still in process, it will still continue. Yeah. Yes.
So in a future semester, I would be able, which we don't have yet because we don't have fall in there because it's not here yet. So then I could change it to, oh yeah, well, it's complete now, and save it. But I'm not going to save it because I like having some examples for the next time. So anyway, so that is the process. You can add updates, activity logs to all your action items. You can see here's several right there. And so you can view how well your students are learning. In the semester review, you can kind of analyze that data to then say, where are my strengths, where do I need to improve? You also look at your student ratings and look at how I can improve and where are my strengths. Then you actually reflect on that, create some action items, and you've basically done what you need to be actively engaging in a process of improvement, right? Or at least started that, or given you some structure to that, right? But that can then go into your annual summary, which takes each semester that you've done that and makes that available for you to go over this with your department chair or director or whatever for annual stewardship interviews and the like. And like it says, the content on this page is visible to your department chair or dean. So you can create a teaching summary, kind of summarize how things have gone, look at each area of, or each pillar by semester and see what's going on. So they don't see your action items, but you can report on those obviously in your reflection or whatever, right? They don't, yeah.
Right.
So that's why you want to include in your reflection what kinds of things you're doing, so that your dean or department chair or whoever is going over that with you will know what's going on.
And by the way, we're taking volunteers for people who want to pilot test this fall. So if you're interested, just send us an email.
Yeah, that kind of I think starts to address Christopher's question in the chat about when this will be available.
Yes, it's
if you would
on production, we just haven't enabled people yet because we kind of want to have a set group to tell us what we're doing wrong before we open it on the entire faculty.
Yeah, and this isn't a requirement. I mean, the
teaching portfolio
this is just a tool to help facilitate the creation of what you'll need in that portfolio. And so this is a help, not a requirement. But if you do it, if you use this tool, you will have the information you need collected and analyzed and acted upon to basically help you create your teaching portfolio.
Yes.
So
that's what the goal is. So you can, if you're willing to participate and tell us what works and what doesn't, there's our emails. Shoot us an email. We're getting a group together. We'll give more training, to a little more specific training to those that are going to be participating.
Okay, now we want to show you a fake way that what students will actually see. So if they come in and see their course,
they see this right now.
Yeah, if you've linked your outcomes.
If you've linked your outcomes, yes. If you've
there is that caveat.
Yeah, if you've linked your outcomes on your Learning Suite course, this is what students see right now.
Yeah, so here they can see, oh, look, I'm below expectations. I only got a 5 out of 28 on attendance, so that was well below expectations, right? Here on this one, there's only the one assignment, but they got a 22 out of 25, which is 88%, which is in the kind of the B range there, so not too bad. And here's one where a little bit lower on the meets expectation, but you can see that difference in where their score actually is, and so on and so forth. So the nice thing, especially if you have multiple outcome or multiple evidences, is students can see where they stand on each outcome. And if obviously this is attached to an attendance assignment, the easy answer is, well, come to class and you'll do better, right? But if it were other assessments and everything, then you could give some direction to students and say, at the end of this course, you're struggling in this particular area with this particular outcome, and give them, either help them work through that, or give them additional resources, or allow them to do additional work to strengthen themselves in those areas that they'll need for future classes and for their career, and those kinds of things, and to develop as whole individuals, which is part of the mission statement. right? So that, in essence, is the gist of the learning outcomes, the ability for you to link to specific evidences, for you to see that, for you to use that data to document improvements in your teaching and improvements you're trying to make in your teaching as part of your teaching portfolio and as part of your annual stewardship interview. And then also to allow students to see, relative to the standards of the class, the learning outcomes, how well they're achieving those outcomes, and for you to be able to use that information to work with students to help shore up weaknesses and leverage strengths and so on and so forth. So any questions or concerns at this point? Because basically we're done, unless you have questions. This is a shorter session.
I have one question, if that's all right.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. Go ahead, Quentin.
Is there a good way to link assignments or questions that aren't on Learning Suite? So like a paper exam or something?
Well,
you could make it an
Yeah.
assignment in Learning Suite that has a score on it, and we go by the score.
mhm.
Then you could upload that file to the stewardship page.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
If that makes sense.
So that would maybe be for the entire assignment, as opposed to like,
yeah.
you wouldn't be able to break down individual questions. Okay, that makes sense.
Right. Now, if you created an assignment, and used a rubric to tell us, like say it's a 100-point thing, and then you gave created a rubric to go with that assignment and said, there's going to be 10% of the questions from this and what, and you could break down the data to say, here's how the student scored in each area, then you could do that, but that would be a little bit of a laborious process.
I see.
Because you'd have to have their not just their general score, but you'd have to enter into the rubric for each section of the course and how it related to each outcome.
Right. Okay.
So, but you could work your way around it that way.
Right. That makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. Good question though, Quentin.
Thank you.
Excellent question. Shows you were really thinking about it. Like that. All right. Any other questions? Well, if you have any additional questions, make sure you check the chat. Kirsten and I have our email addresses there. You can check that, or just go to the ctl.byu.edu website to get our contact information as well. And we'll look for any other follow-up questions. If you are interested in participating in the pilot and kind of seeing how this goes and so forth, please contact us, and we will help you along with that process. So thank you so much for coming. Hope you learned something interesting today. And if you're coming at 2 o'clock for the grading session, we look forward to seeing you there too. So have a great day, and enjoy annual university conference next week. I'm excited to see President Worthen speak and Elder Christofferson. That's going to be exciting. So take care.